Let's begin with the most savage punishments and progress towards the most monstrous tortures practiced in the name of justice. Number 5. Breaking Wheel, Europe. If you lived in Europe during the Middle Ages and were convicted of crimes such as murder, robbery, or treason, you could be sentenced to the breaking wheel, used for centuries until one of the last recorded executions in 1841 in Prussia. Your limbs are stretched outward and secured tightly to a wooden frame or directly on the ground, preventing movement. The executioner strikes your arms and legs using a heavy iron bar. Wrists, elbows, knees, and hips are targeted so bones fracture while you remain conscious. Wooden blocks placed beneath the limbs intensify the impact, ensuring bones snap completely and damage surrounding muscle, nerves, and blood vessels. Internal bleeding begins immediately as the body enters traumatic shock. After repeated blows, your body is threaded between the spokes of a large cartwheel. Limbs are forced backward, bending the spine into an unnatural position. The wheel is raised onto a vertical pole, suspending you above the ground, placing constant pressure on shattered bones and restricting breathing. In some sentences, a final strike ended life quickly. In harsher cases, death occurred slowly from shock, blood loss, dehydration, or exposure. Number 4. Lingchi, Imperial China. If you lived in Imperial China between the 10th century and 1905, and were convicted of crimes such as treason or rebellion, you could face Lingchi. Your body is secured upright to a wooden frame so movement is impossible while the punishment proceeds in measured stages. The executioner uses a sharp blade to remove small portions of flesh from the arms and torso. Each cut opens the skin and exposes tissue beneath, damaging small blood vessels and producing steady bleeding while maintaining consciousness. Pain and stress responses increase heart rate and breathing as wounds accumulate. Additional cuts extend across different areas, removing layers of skin followed by deeper slices into muscle. Progressive blood loss weakens circulation and reduces physical strength while restraint prevents escape. The staged cutting continues until the final moment. Death typically occurs from cumulative blood loss, traumatic shock, or a final fatal cut applied near the end of the procedure. Lingchi was intended to result in death, though the timing depended on how long the controlled stages continued. Number 3. Rat torture. Europe. If you lived in parts of Europe during periods of war or imprisonment and were suspected of withholding information, rat torture could be used to force confession. Your arms and legs are restrained while clothing is removed from the upper body, exposing the abdomen or chest. A metal container filled with live rats is pressed firmly against exposed skin and secured tightly so it cannot be removed. Heat is applied to the outside using hot coals or fire, raising the temperature inside the enclosure. As heat increases, the rats panic and attempt escape. With no visible exit, their movement concentrates downward. Claws produce scratches that break the skin, followed by biting as the animals attempt to push through softer tissue. Repeated contact damages skin and underlying tissue, while bacteria from bites increases risk of infection. Multiple rats press toward the same point, intensifying injury while restraint prevents interruption. Pain and stress may cause shock as wounds accumulate. This method did not always result in death. Some victims died from infection or severe injury, while others survived with lasting physical damage. Number 2. Brazen Bull, Ancient Greece. If you lived in ancient Greece during the 6th century BC under the rule associated with Phalaris of Acragas, certain crimes could lead to execution inside the Brazen Bull. The device is a hollow bronze statue shaped like a bull, designed to fully enclose the body with only a small door allowing entry. Once inside, the door is secured, restricting movement and preventing escape. A fire is lit beneath the structure, gradually heating the bronze and raising the temperature of the enclosed air. Heat transfers across the interior surface, preventing the body from cooling. As temperature increases, the body's ability to regulate heat weakens, causing intense heat stress and rapid dehydration. Breathing heated air irritates the respiratory tract while prolonged exposure raises internal body temperature. The enclosed structure distributes heat evenly, making avoidance impossible as conditions intensify. Tubes built into the head of the bull alter the sound of the voice as screams passes through them. Historical accounts describe death occurring from sustained heat exposure, heat stroke, and organ failure inside the sealed bronze chamber. Number 1. Scaphism. Ancient Persia. If you lived in ancient Persia around 401 BC and were convicted of serious crimes such as treason, Greek historical accounts describe scaphism as a possible punishment. Your body is placed between two hollow wooden logs or small boats fitted tightly together, leaving the head, hands, and feet exposed while movement remains extremely limited. You are force-fed a mixture of milk and honey, causing digestive distress and diarrhea that collects inside the enclosed structure. Constant moisture weakens the skin barrier and promotes bacterial growth. The same mixture is spread across exposed skin to attract flies and other insects. Insects gather repeatedly, feeding on exposed tissue and laying eggs on the body and inside natural openings. Continuous exposure increases risk of infection as irritation and skin damage progress. The structure is often placed under direct sunlight, increasing heat, dehydration, and physical stress. In another variation, the body is placed inside the opened carcass of a dead animal such as a horse, increasing insect concentration. Historical descriptions indicate death typically occurred after several days due to infection, dehydration, and physical exhaustion.